Here we go, game one, round one. As you see the chef getting ready to hop back up in the mix and KD out to silence the Blog Boys. I see you. Early on, how were they going to come out? I'll tell you how they came out. They flipped the damn switch. The ball doesn't even hit the floor. Lob to JaVale McGee, Weapon X, starting at center. And what did I tell y'all? Put in the clamps on LaMarcus Aldridge. 2 blocks in 15 minutes of play. And then KD, it doesn't matter if you're in his face. When he hits you with the left-hand rocker, you know the deal. It's going through the net. The 3-ball. Early Oracle was lit. But as fun as that offense was, it was more about the defense. The defensive intensity, the communication, the effort, night and day from the regular season, and the Spurs felt it could not hit the broadside of a barn in the first half of this game, and Pop knows he's in trouble. They just simply don't match up. They don't have the size to guard the wing scorers that Golden State possesses, and Klay Thompson ain't lunch, brunch, breakfast, dinner, all that shit. How about the outlet over-the-shoulder pass to the 7-footer running 2 hands at the rim? Steph, raise the roof for you, boy. Other story to note in this game, Andre Iguodala starting at point guard. You're going to see him knock down the 3 off Klay's penetration. And again, it was pick your poison. Golden State attacking numerous holes in San Antonio's defense. Pop adjusts second half. It's Rudy Gay running point, high pick and roll. Young DeJounte Murray all the way to the rim. That's a tough finish. So San Antonio makes a slight push in the third quarter, but it was too much Golden State and too much Klay Thompson. Shooting when he wants, where he wants, all game long. KD turning around, light work. San Antonio could just find no place to attack, and they had too many holes to plug up on the other end. Here's the modern era basketball. You pass up the layup for the 3-ball. Klay gladly obliges, splashes in Aldridge's face, and the route is on at Oracle Arena. Klay Thompson, 11 of 13 from the field, 27 points. Warriors roll. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we were able to attack, we must seem unable. Shout out Steve Kerr. Shout out Steve Kerr, man, because, you know, we all know the storyline going into this. Are the Warriors really slipping? Is this the end of it? Have they fallen off? And myself included fell victim to just seeing, you know, it had me worried, and it should have had all of us worried. But round one, game one, Saturday, what do? They come out and they flip the goddamn switch. Right? That felt good. Could this game have gone any better for Warrior fans? Those of you that saw my preview video, right, I know you saw the LaMarcus Aldridge subject. JaVale McGee went out and did exactly what I said he did. And I can't even front. He played better than I thought he would. If you would have told me going into this game that Aldridge was going to be outscored by JaVale McGee 15-14, you can forget about it. And that's in part why that outcome was what it was. Now, it wasn't the offense I was impressed with. Most of them were lobs and finishes at the rim. It was the defense, his ability to close out, come out on the perimeter, challenge his shot. When he put it down, he would move his hips and stay in front. And then he blocked several of his shots around the basket. You can tell his length and athleticism bothers LaMarcus Aldridge. So shout out to JaVale. I think he is the biggest story of game one, right? Clearly. And he would have played more if it weren't for the referees. And I hate to do this game one of the first game of the playoffs, but the refereeing was disturbing. The refereeing was disturbing. Those of you that are familiar with my Patreon videos, my long extended cuts, I introduced something to y'all earlier in the season, the KIC. It's the keep it close call. And we saw a lot of KICs in this game, particularly on JaVale McGee, right? There was one foul that he truly earned where I believe it was Ginobili got him up in the air and he came down on him. It was a clear foul. But the other touch calls around the rim and some of the calls they had on him were egregious. They got 4 fouls on him. And what do you know? When he got out, that's when LaMarcus Aldridge started to go to work in the pick and roll and got some favorable matchups they switched on. So I did not like that. We were at Oracle. And let's talk, remember that play where Looney and Rudy Gay hit the ground, right? They hit the ground. There was a mad scramble. They hit the ground 2 times on one possession. And it ended up with Rudy Gay diving on Looney's back, wrapping around him and getting a jump ball tie up. And I was like, oh, word. Okay. We playing like that. Okay, fine. So about 90 seconds later, Looney wraps up somebody in the backcourt, hands face to face for a jump ball, and they call a touch foul. So the whistle was not equal. There were a lot of KICs in this game, but it didn't matter, man. it really didn't matter. Oracle, it was just like all of us. Oracle Arena was a perfect example of the fans this season because all season long we've been waiting to explode. We've been waiting to celebrate this team and its dominance, and we haven't seen it. And it was like at a tipping point. And so Oracle was ready, man, and I want to shout out that crowd because, for a game one like that, they were very loud and they had an impact on the game and the runs that took place in this game. Now, when the fourth quarter was basically garbage time, I don't think Durant played in the fourth quarter, right? Draymond would have had a triple-double if he had played the fourth quarter, but that's fine. We're not rushing over here, right? It's about W's. You know I'm going to take a shot at that dude. But back to the game, Draymond shot a bunch of threes. I didn't check the exact stats on this. I'm not a stats guy, but I knew he took too many. And he hit a few of them. But I think that we have to look at it as if until Steph's back, I think he has to take a few more shots, right? And if he can find his rhythm in this series and get some confidence, I'm willing to concede him bricking a few of these threes, right? If he's going to take 6 or 7 threes and he only hit 2 or 3, right now in this round, I think we can live with that. And hopefully he can find a rhythm and confidence because we will need him to make some threes when we get deeper into these playoffs, right? Nick Young, Jordan Bell, Nick Young he's like the homie that didn't throw on the sack, right? He's out of the rotation. You know, that's the way I see it. Now, he came in the game late when it was decided and he hit a 3 or 2, right? But I had mentioned this going into this. I don't think he's playable in meaningful minutes in the playoffs, and I think Kerr feels the same way because he came in late and Bell came in late as well. The Spurs, again, back to my preview video, this is why y'all come to my channel, because I really break shit down. Second half, Greg Popovich realized, we got to go with Rudy Gay. Kyle Anderson, it ain't working, right? And their guards, they just don't have big enough wing defenders, right? Forbes, Patty Mills, putting Patty Mills on Klay Thompson is suicide. And the numbers showed it, right? So there are matchup problems all over the court. And once Pop realized that LA, they couldn't initiate the offense through him, they had to go to Rudy Gay as well as Manu Ginobili. But Rudy Gay starts the second half, and he was effective. They were running a high pick and roll, and they got some buckets. And the remainder of this series, you can expect Rudy Gay in that starting lineup and for him to be leaned on heavily on the offensive end of the floor. But going back to their guards and the lack of size there, because they're using Denny Green essentially as a forward. They don't have anybody to guard Durant. And so that's pulling their best defender off of Klay Thompson. And Klay is left to shoot over the top of these guys that are way too undersized. What did he shoot? Like 8 of 13. He had the quick scope working, right? He wasn't missing shit. And so Klay comes out, bombs away from 3, and it was a blowout, man. And I want to calm the expectations and the excitement, but we've been waiting so long, so I'm excited, man. It couldn't have gone any better. That said, the Spurs, we know their DNA, we know their mentality. They're not going to fold, they're not going to roll over. So, I caution the fans, us, and the Warrior players. Let's not get too pleased with ourselves. We've seen in the past that we have a tendency to kind of take the foot off the gas and say, okay, we know, because let's be honest, the Spurs are severely outmatched. There is nothing they can do. The Warriors know this as well. So does that cause them to take the foot off the pedal a little bit early because the Spurs will keep fighting? So that's what I caution. But game 1, round 1, could we have asked for a better start to this playoff run? Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.